everyone. So now I will discuss the history and development of track and field. Track and field or tinatawag din na athletics ay isa sa pinaka-oldest and most natural sports in the world. It includes basic movements kagaya ng running, walking, jumping, and throwing, which is kayang gawin lahat ng mga tao. So, pinapaniwalaan na ang track and field ay nag-start pa before pa ang Christian era. Kasi dati raw, yung mga tao noon is nagre-racing din sila and jumping just for fun or para ma-show yung strength nila. And until over time, yung friendly games na yon is naging serious competitions. So dahan-dahan, naging organized sports yung mga basic movements na yon until ginamit na siya sa mga competitions all around the world. At ngayon ay tinatawag na nating track and field. So, ang history ng track and field is closely connected sa Olympic Games and the International Association of Athletic Federations or IAAF. Isa ito sa mga main sports sa Olympics at karamihan sa mga rules and events na nakikita natin ngayon ay na-develop at na-improve through the Olympics. And ang International Association of Athletics Federation or IAAF naman yung nagmamanage at nagsiset ng mga rules for track and field competition around the world. So now, i-discuss naman natin kung ano yung mga important highlights ng track and field evolution or development. So for the early developments, in 1829 BC, in Ireland, merong festival na tinatawag na Tailtean Games. Similar siya sa track and field kung saan merong sports kagaya ng racing, jumping, and throwing. Noong 776 BC naman, ginanap ang first Olympic Games. At during that time, yung mga lalaki lang pwede mag-join. But later on, yung mga Greek women is gumawa rin sila ng sarili nilang games na tinawag na Herea Games. Noong 490 BC naman, merong isang Greek soldier na tumakbo from Marathon to Athens para i-report ang battle victory. And yung event na yun, yung nag-inspire sa marathon race natin ngayon. Noong 393 AD naman, ang end of the ancient Olympic Games. At noong 1154, so the track and field as we know it today started in England noong year 1154. Yun yung mga tao sa London is nag-start sila mag-practice sa fields to train for running, jumping, and throwing events. And that was the first time na clearly na na-mentioned ang track and field sa English history. But in 1930s, pinay-stop ni King Edward III ang mga tao from playing the sports. Maybe because mas gusto niya na mag-focus na lang sila sa mga other things like training para sa war. And then, 100 years later, inallowed naman ito ulit ni King Henry VIII. He even enjoyed playing the sports himself and kinilala rin siya na isa sa magagaling sa games na yon na hammer throw. At ayun yung nakahelp para maibalik yung interest sa track and field. So, for the modern development, ang track and field ay mas naging organized sports noong 1800s, wherein noong 1860s, the New York Athletic Club started organizing track and field in the USA. So, the Amateur Athletic Club or AAC ay nag-start na i-organize and i-support ang sports competition sa England until it held the first official track and field championships in the country. But the competition is para lamang sa mga gentlemen amateurs, meaning yung mga naglalaro nitong sports is just for fun and not for money. So yung mga athletics na nanalo that time did not get paid because during that time yung sports is mostly nakikita siya as a hobby for the wealthy and educated people. So, in 1979, the National Association of Amateur Athletes of America is na-create para i-organize yung National Track and Field Competition sa United States. But after 9 years, pinalitan ito ng Amateur Athletic Union or AAU as the main group in charge. At nangyari ito dahil yung ibang mga tao ang nagsasabi na ang National Association of Amateur Athletes of America ay hindi raw strictly enough sa pagsunod sa mga rules for amateur athletes. So, the AAU was chosen to make sure na yung mga rules ay masusunod properly. So, noong 1880, ang Amateur Athletic Club or AAC gave up its role as the main organizer of track and field events. So, yung responsibility nila was handed over sa bagong group na tinawag na Amateur Athletic Association or the AAA, which is then naging official body in charge sa mga sa pag-manage at pag-organize ng sports sa England. And then 1896, which is the birth of the modern Olympic Games. So, in 1904, yung mga athletes, ang ginagamit nila ay bamboo poles sa mga pole vault event because ang bamboo is magaan and flexible, which helps athletes jump higher than before. And marami ding mga records ang naset gamit ang bamboo poles. However, noong 1957, those records were broken dahil meron ng better materials kagaya ng fiberglass, which allowing athletes na mas makatalon pa ng mas mataas. So, in 1908, during the London Olympic Games, ang marathon distance ay officially na naiset to 26 miles and 385 yards. So, napili ang specific length na to para mag-start yung race sa Windsor Castle at mag-end sa front ng Royal Box in the Stadium. But later on, yung distance na yun is kinonvert to metric system at naging 42.195 km, which is still the official marathon distance today. And in 1912 naman, the Olympics added the decathlon. Isa itong special event na made up of 10 different track and field competitions at na-design ito para itest ang overall skills and strength ng mga athletes. And that year din, introduce ang 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters long distance races. So in 1913, the International Association of Athletics Federations officially managed and organized track and field competitions around the world. And noong mga time na yon, yung mga rules nila ay only for men's events. So women's competitions were not yet included under its authority during those early years. And then, noong 1920, the 3,000 meters steeplechase ay dinagdag sa mga official events sa Olympic Games at ginanap sa Antwerp, Belgium. So, sa race na yon is a long distance run that includes barriers and water jumps, make it more challenging kaysa sa regular running events. So, noong 1928, finally, allowed na sumali sa mga Olympic events ang women. So, 800 meters race ay ang shortest steeplechase distance added for women. And also, for the first time, women competed in the high jump and discus throw during the Olympic Games in Amsterdam, Netherlands. So, ayun yung nagmarka ng important step para i-include yung women sa track and field events. And then, noong 1936, the IAAF also became the governing body of women's athletics. And then, in 1948, during the London Olympics, nagdagdag pa sila ng dalawang events for women in track and field, which is the long jump and shot put. And dahil doon, mas nabigyan pa ng chances yung mga female athletes na mag-compete. And also, ito rin yung first time na ginamit sa mga sprint races ang starting blocks, which helps runner na mas bumilis and mas maging stable yung start nila. And then in 1964, the pentathlon for women ay dinagdag sa Tokyo Olympics. Isa itong track and field event that made up of 5 different competitions, but later on pinalitan naman ito ng heptathlon, which includes 7 events instead of 5. 1968, during the Mexico Olympics, inintroduce ng American athlete na si Dick Fosbury ang new style of doing the high jump na tinawag na Fosbury flop. So instead of jumping over the bar nang naka-face down or sideways, yung Fosbury flop ay jumping with his back facing the bar. And yung technique niya na yun, yung naka-help sa kanya para manalo at maging gold medalist. And later on, naging common and popular yung technique niya sa high jump around the world. So, in 1980s, nag-start na rin mag-participate ang female athletes sa triple jump, and during this time, ang Filipino athlete na si Lydia De Vega ay naging famous dahil sa kanyang sprinting abilities and nabigyan ng title bilang Asia's Sprint Queen. Kinilala siya for her speed and success in the 100 meters and 200 meters races. And in 1986, ang javelin na ginamit sa competitions ay na-redesigned, pero same weight pa rin siya kagaya ng dati, but its shape was changed so that hindi ito lipa rin ng malayo kagaya dati. Because of this, mas naging mabilis yung pagland ng javelin at na-reduce din yung distance by about 9 to 12 meters or 30 to 40 feet. So, ang main reason bakit siya pinalitan dahil para mas maging safe yung laro at makita yung javelin just inside the field. So, in 1990s, the International Association of Athletic Federations made an important changes by adding new events for women. Isa na rito ay ang women's pole vault, kung saan gagamit yung mga athletes ng long pole to jump over a high bar. And si Stacy Dragila from the United States ang kauna-unahang woman na nanalo sa both World Championship at Olympic gold medal sa event na yon. And during this time, na-introduce din yung hammer throw sa mga female athletes, kung saan they will throw a heavy ball na naka-attach sa wire and handle it as far as they can. So, pansin nyo habang tumatagal, nagkakaroon ng gender equality sa track and field by allowing women na mag-compete na rin sa maraming events na dati is open lang for kalalakihan. And noong 1996 naman, during the Atlanta Olympics, nadagdagan ulit ng dalawang events for women ang track and field. First is the 5,000 meters steeplechase at second ay ang triple jump. So, noong 1999, pinalitan ng bagong design ang women's javelin na hanggang ngayon is ginagamit pa rin sa competitions. So, na-introduce sa Sydney Olympics ang women's pole vault noong 2000 at noong 2005 naman nagkaroon ng World Championship status ang women's steeplechase. And then, noong 2008, naging Olympic event sa Beijing ang women's steeplechase. Noong 2009, a Filipino athlete na si Alma Muros Posadas o kinilala na long jump queen of Philippines ay nag-retired. She had a very successful career, winning 15 gold medals in the Southeast Asian Games and naging one of the country's most famous track and field stars. And then, noong 2010 naman, ang International Association of Athletics Federations ay nag-introduce ng bagong rule, which is, if ang runner ay nagkaroon ng isang fault sa start, is madi-disqualified agad sila. Noong 2011 naman, dalawang Filipino long jumpers na sina Henry Dagnil at Maristela Torres is proudly nirepresent ang Philippines sa World Championships in Athletics na ginanap sa Daegu, South Korea. And lastly, noong 2012 sa US Olympic Trials, ang American athlete na si Ashton Eaton ay nakagawa ng history by setting a new world record in the decathlon, which is, again, ito yung set of 10 different track and field event at nagkaroon siya ng total score of 9,039 points. So, ang track and field event ay ginaganap sa malaking oval-shaped running track, which is usually nasa 400 meters para sa isang complete lap. Nandito rin ginaganap yung mga running events kagaya ng sprints with 100 meters, 200 meters, and 400 meters, middle distance, and long distance. Dati, gawa lang sa natural materials ang track kagaya ng dirt or clay. But now, synthetic na, and yun na rin yung ginagamit sa mga big competitions kasi mas nakakapag-provide ito ng better grip and faster running even bad or different weather. So, the inside of the oval is tinatawag naman na field. And dito naman ginaganap ang mga jumping and throwing events. So, based on the image, nandito yung mga different parts kung saan nakapwesto yung iba't ibang events kagaya ng high jump, pole vault, long jump, and triple jump, shot put, discus, or hammer throw, and javelin. So, the cross-country running naman is different from track and fields kasi ginaganap ito sa natural terrain kagaya ng farms, parks, or golf courses, and yung paths is pwedeng uneven or muddy, so it is more challenging. So the track events is mainly includes walking events and running events. So ang distances in race walking for men is 20,000 to 50,000 meters, while sa women naman is 5,000 to 30,000 meters, and yung mga walkers is allowed lang sila for only one warning. So, if they break the rules, again, sila ay madi-disqualified. So, ang race walking is a kind of walking competition na may strict na rules. So, iba ito sa regular na walking and running. So, merong correct technique for race walking. Dapat yung front or advancing leg is straight when it touches the ground. So, dapat hindi mag-bend yung tuhod mo. And dapat palaging may isang foot ang nasa ground. Hindi kagaya sa running talaga na pwedeng both feet mo is nasa air. So, no jumping or running. And dapat din na smooth and steady yung walking. Magiging wrong ang race walking techniques kapag yung front leg mo is nag-bent kasi against yun sa rules. And there are moments din na both feet is hindi nakakatapak sa ground, which is mas nagmumukha siyang running rather than walking. So, kapag nagawa mo yung isa sa or lahat nito is pwedeng mag-lead sa warning or disqualification. So, next is hurdling, which is ito yung type of running race kung saan may barriers na tinatawag na hurdles. So, ang bawat runners ay mag-stay sa sarili nilang lane and dapat mag-jump over sila sa lahat ng hurdles using their legs. And it's okay if accidentally na knockdown yung hurdle, pero if lumagpas sila sa lane nila or if nagamit nila yung kamay nila to knock down that hurdle, pwede silang ma-disqualify. So, as you can see sa chart, ang number of hurdles ay nasa 10 lahat. But nagkakaiba lang sa height and distance. So, for men's with 110 meters event, ang height ng hurdle nila ay nasa 42 inches at ang distance naman ay nasa 9.14 meters. For the men's 400 meters event, merong hurdle height na 36 inches at distance na 35.0 meters. For women's with naman, with 100 meters event, merong silang height of hurdles na 33 inches at distance na 8.50 meters. And for the women's with 400 meters event, ay merong height of hurdles na 30 inches at distance na 35.0 meters. So, long distance running includes events that cover 3,000 meters and above, kagaya ng marathon, steeplechase, cross-country, and road runs. So, sa mga races na to, mas important yung endurance and pace kaysa sa speed. So, hindi siya kagaya ng sa sprinters na sa una pa lang is mag-explode na ng power. Kasi sa long distance, nakafocus lang siya sa pag-maintain ng steady pace throughout the race. And sabi pa dito, the longer the run or race, mas mahirap na gumamit ng final burst of speed or yung finishing kick na tinatawag. So, sa mga professional races, merong tinatawag na pace setter or also known as rabbit. So, sila yung mga runner na tumutulong sa iba pang runners, especially sa mga elite or strongest ones during a long distance race. So, paano nga ba ito nag-work? So, imagine, tumatakbo ka sa napakahabang long race and sa una, syempre ayaw mo pang tumakbo ng mabilis kasi baka mapagod ka kaagad. Pero ayaw mo naman ng masyadong slow kasi baka mapag-iwanan ka. So, si pace setter, sila yung tatakbo in front of you at the perfect pace, not too fast and not too slow. And ikaw, ifa-follow mo lang yung lead nila and let them na i-guide yung speed mo. And also kasi kapag merong tumatakbo in front of you, nabablock nila yung hangin. So, mas nagiging madali sa'yo na tumakbo kasi nga, less na yung energy. And ayun yung tinatawag na reducing wind resistance. So, again, yung mga pace setters, tatakbo lang sila, maybe halfway or a little more. Then, dahan-dahan, they will slow down or leave the track. And sa point na yon, yung elite runners naman yung magti-take over at magti-try na i-finish yung race. And then, runners in long distance races ay gumagamit ng standing start instead of starting block kasi ang focus nila is more on conserving energy and maintaining rhythm rather than speed at the start. So that's all my report. Again, I am Sahara Mantil from BSSW 2C and thank you.